Welcome to the Transformational Map. Today, we create a map of transformation towards a goal you desire. Oftentimes, I invite people to focus on the 12-month breakthrough goal. You can use this for any goal, personal or professional. It could be a 30-day goal, a 3-year goal, or the 12-month breakthrough. Sometimes we do it by ourselves, and sometimes we do it thinking about the team. Today, I'm going to walk through it and I'm going to give some examples. And when I do, I'm going to be thinking about it as a 12-month breakthrough goal in the mind of not just an individual, but of a team, and help you unlock the recipe for growth and what's holding your team back from creating the change you desire. What is the transformation map? It is a visual representation of the change you are trying to create. Often what is unconscious, inner and outer, of what we need to do to actualize a goal. The first step is to map it out. It'll help you understand the fundamentals and architecture of change so that you can become transformative with yourself and others, because you're working consciously and you know what's going on that could accelerate your growth and what's going on that could hold it back. It helps unlock the hidden unconscious reasons why we don't do what we say we're going to do. It also helps us uncover the inner growth that comes from every big goal we manifest. We can unconsciously build bigger companies and never claim any inner riches. But if we are intentional about how we grow our companies, add to our customer base, increase revenues and profitability, we can attach that to greater intentions around our own self-worth, self-love, creativity, and our great gifts. We can see each of these as a gymnasium to build our personal strengths. The hard times in the journey become easier because we understand that it's here to help us grow. We'll see the journey and the challenges differently. We're going to talk about the hamster wheel first. The hamster wheel is your current business operating system. It is important to start with knowing that your hamster wheel is wonderful. It's doing magical things. It's producing everything automatically without a whole lot of intervention already. It's producing your current results and outcomes. So you always want to honor and love your hamster wheel. Resist the temptation to make it wrong. Know that your current systems, people, processes, actions, competencies, narratives, ideas, beliefs, constraints, accelerators, and possibilities. That's where we are today. That is our hamster wheel. It is what's producing our current results. You can already see you're already creating some impact. You're already creating scale. You're already creating profit. Probably more than a year ago, more than 5 years ago. You have a beautiful hamster wheel. Take a moment and honor the hamster wheel. To create a new result, we need change. We have to step off the hamster wheel, work on the business, and the hamster wheel itself, then the hamster wheel will evolve into a new hamster wheel, new improved, that can do new things. And so when we think about your transformation map, we're talking about the hamster wheel is your current situation. That's where we are today. And we're also thinking about the hamster wheel of the future. It's going to create new desired ongoing outcomes that we cherish. So there's 3 parts to the transformation map. The first is the new desired outcomes, which is at the top. The bottom is the current situation. It's a description of where we are today and any negative feelings you have about it. Everything in between is the gap. At every moment, we're in a gap between the current situation and the desired outcome. We want to expose the gap and make friends with it. Make the gap friendly, curious, acceptable, fun. Make that journey one of empowerment and enrichment that creates confidence along the way and creates a journey where people feel celebrated. At the same time, we want to understand what's getting in the way so that we know how to structure a system that reduces friction, reduces the resistance to taking actions, to creating the changes necessary to produce the new desired outcome. Start by thinking about your new desired outcome, 12-month breakthrough goal. And I am going to put on here one that's already worked out for another business. So we're going to start out with your new desired outcome. So write down your 12-month desire. Make it specific, measurable, achievable with greatness, resonant, and time-bound. Write down your desire and write down the buy when. Double new customers from 500 per year to 1,000 per year. That's our goal. We want to do it by December 31st, 2025. And now you're going to ask yourself, how will this make me feel? All goals and desires are unmet feelings in disguise. The sooner we know what those feelings are, the sooner we can begin to create those outcomes. In this case, doubling the number of customers would allow this founder to feel empowered, confident, and strong. Write down the feelings. Now think about the why. Why is this goal important? Why is it important? What will it bring to you, your business, your team? What's most important? Maybe it will help you feel you have a recipe for traction, for growth. Maybe it will help you invest in something you need. Maybe it will help you pay yourself more. Maybe you will receive something because of this. So understand why this is important. Next is the learning. Start to imagine, what will you learn from doubling new customers or whatever that goal is? What will you learn? What will the team integrate as you overcome all the challenges and you take the big actions necessary, and your team does the same thing? You will receive an inner gift, a superpower that grows, that can affect your whole life. What is that gift you will receive? The gift of knowing you are fill in the blank. Next, shoot down to the lower section, current situation. Name your current situation in contrast with your new desired outcome. What is the current situation? Name it specifically. Last 12 months, we had 500 new customers, barely paying myself. Marketing didn't work, stress in my marriage, and I don't know how to fix it. Write down the current situation as it is and defining the parts of it that you want to transform. And the negative feelings when you think this situation may never change. How does it make you feel? Imagine that no matter what you do, current situation doesn't change. What's that feeling? Frustrated, overwhelmed, stressed is what this founder felt. And now you just take a moment to understand that, be conscious that you're on a journey in bringing a team with you, whether it's a team of 5 or 500. You're bringing a team on a journey from where you are to where you're going. Notice the contrast, current situation versus the new desired outcome. There's a contrast there. Those empowered, confident, strong feelings, you want to build those in to your journey. So that's information that you're just going to want to be aware of. You also want to understand that these negative feelings, frustrated, overwhelmed, and stressed, or whatever you wrote down, are natural feelings for growing. Don't make them wrong. Invite them in. Understand that it is springing from your wisdom that you're feeling these ways so that you can create changes necessary. It's helping you grow. All right, so now we're going to look at the gap. The gap is the journey between where you are right now and where you want to be. In the first column, write down some things you know you're going to do in order to do this thing, growing the number of customers you have. There's new actions and behaviors you and the team need to endeavor. What are some of those actions? Write down those actions, figuring things out, implementing new systems, fine-tuning the tunnel, measuring conversion, hiring new people, measuring weekly, implementing a better sales experience. What will you be doing to create this new outcome? Identify the new actions. Imagine between here and your goal, there are some light posts along the journey. Name those light posts. Past that goal, what do those light posts look like? What are indicators you're making? And think about your funnel, growing customers, growing profit, or my goal is to get to 1,000 customers. Somewhere along, I'm going to have 200 customers and then 750 customers, and then I'll make it to 1,000. Intentionally, you're telling your brain, these are milestones we are going to achieve. These are goals to work through. You're also taking new actions and you're amplifying results. You're having more, whatever those things are that lead to your outcome. You're probably going to develop new skills, aptitudes, and competencies. What skills are your team members going to learn? What would you like them to learn? Some might be learning more about sales, implementing a new sales model, implementing sales manager training. I'm not good at overcoming objections. Maybe I need to learn that, or my team needs to learn that. Maybe we need to choose a software system. We need to figure out how to increase conversion. Need to understand which KPIs have the most effect. Systems and resources, implement rituals like daily huddles, hire a sales trainer, do sales training. You're going to install the new CRM system. You're going to have new dashboard tracking system. Maybe you're going to implement weekly games, monthly incentives, quarterly celebrations. How are you going to support your team and yourself with systems and resources? Maybe you need to find funding. Maybe we need to hire a consultant. What are those things you're going to do in order to create this new outcome? These things will help you get there. These are all the external world actions, behaviors, results, skills, competencies, performance improvements, systems, resources, structures, people. Allow yourself to see how all of this can create your result. So now we want to think on the internal world, the things that hold us back or move us forward, expose the limiting things and embrace the positive things that will move us forward on this goal. What would be some limiting thoughts that might come up? This isn't going to work. Josie's going to quit if I ask her to do this. I don't have time to focus on this. And then start to see that when you overcome this and your team and you help them get over the hurdles, you're going to discover some new empowered thoughts, opposites of limiting thoughts. You might discover we're unstoppable. We can solve any problems. My team is capable. We know how to grow. We got this. Every day you have a choice about what to think. Write down what that empowered set of beliefs looks like. The next column is fears and resistance. Resistance and fear shows up in all kinds of ways. It wants to protect us. It wants to keep us where we are, right? And on the other hand, is this part of us that is lots of gifts, total abundance, wisdom galore, possibilities all the time, always comes up with solutions and options. Think about the fears that might come up. What fear might show up for you and your team when creating this outcome? Making mistakes. Maybe you can't decide. The options aren't good. What's the resistance look like? Can't we just keep doing it the same way? This is how we've always done it. I feel comfortable doing it this way, right? Fears and resistance, all valid. And as we start to do new things, like a child who is afraid to ride the bike and cries when they can't do it at first, but then they learn they can, they discover all kinds of freedom, all kinds of possibilities. So what are the possibilities that your team and you are going to discover as a result of this? We're brave and strong. We can do hard things. We embrace change. I am a learner. I am a grower. I am a phoenix rising out of the ashes. We are powerful. The next is that we'll encounter lots of excuses and rationalizations. I didn't have time. This important customer called. There was a project. I got sick. My kid got sick. Dog ate my homework. Why people won't do the things they say they want to do? I was tired. I was exhausted. I needed a break. Nothing judgmental about it. It's just exposing it for what it is. There's excuses and rationalizations for why you can't have what you want, excuses for why we don't want to change. The next step is to capture our resourcefulness and abundance through this journey. Notice how you overcome and do things even when it's hard, even when it's raining outside, even after the dog ate it, even when you had a stomachache. And what are you going to discover in that process? You're going to discover you already have everything you need to take the next brave step. You're going to discover all kinds of abundance. We're scrappy, we're savvy, write it down. We know how and we can. What are you going to discover after you learn how to measure conversion? What are you going to discover is true about you after you implement fun games and everybody celebrates every quarter? What are you going to learn about you as you hit every target, or at least some of them? Next, we're going to look at ways we create victimhood and blame. It's always somebody else's fault. We didn't have enough money, time, budget systems. Write down all the ways that you might blame others and the circumstances for why you cannot do or have what you want. We can't because it's too hard. We don't have the right systems. Somebody else's job. See that on the other side, when we march through it, we're going to discover choice and freedom. What will choice and freedom look like? We always have plenty of options. You can always trust we are capable. Right on your page, how we feel when we experience growth and change. We want to name and embrace them and shift into feelings we want. Make the journey more fun and more loving and less fearful. How are people going to feel as they go through this journey? What are the fear feelings they're going to feel? What are the love feelings they're going to feel? How are they going to feel when they stumble and fall? How are they going to feel when they're held accountable? Feel when they try something and somebody laughs at them? What are they going to feel when they have too many things on their plate? How are they going to feel when they start to see success? How are they going to feel when a customer has a positive experience, when they impact a person's life in a positive way, when they discover they can do something they didn't know? Write down all those feelings that people are going to feel. And now you have just completed the transformation map, which is a big deal. What did you take away from this? What did you learn about this desire and creating it? What did you learn about growth and change? What did you learn for yourself, your team? What holds you and your team back? And what could propel you forward? So just take a moment to integrate those questions and let yourself see how this journey is going to unlock the 4 C's for you and for your team: courage, commitment, confidence, and competence, all coming your way through the transformation map. Thank you very much for taking this time. I hope you were able to find some level of your own personal greatness and how you can be of highest and best use in serving the changes you need, growing yourself, your leadership, your team, and your company. Go make the world a better place.